Hi guys, today on this video, it's just, I know I've been leaving gaps in between like my videos basically, in regards to like how often, how frequently I post. Just been busy and stuff like that, saving up money basically on buying a house. So is my mother, really helping her. It's just, I wanted to hop on here today and basically discuss my post-traumatic stress disorder has completely, it's been completely rid of basically ever since doing 5.4 grams of magic mushrooms, which is psilocybin cubensis strain. So I did that. It's like the third most powerful. So there's that, and it's just, I am going to talk about my experience in trip today, as 5 grams, if you don't know, you've heard on Joe Rogan, you've heard on other things, is the heroic dose. So this is the dosage. 50 milligrams is psilocin. Psilocin is basically, there's other ketones and stuff like that, and like bioactive, like natural chemicals that are within the mushrooms are psychoactive, but they're not as psychoactive as psilocin. Psilocin is literally almost identical, as you can see in this description right here, to serotonin. Literally, you're basically taking, like, if you were to like crush it up in a grinder and then just put them into tablets, vegetable capsules, you're basically taking serotonin pills. That's basically, like, not the shit that they prescribe at like Walgreens and stuff like that, like SSRIs that they give to, women off the hook and crap, But it's just, I want to talk about my trip today, and it's just, I took 5.4 grams, and here's how I did it. I went up, so I would do 0.6 grams. That was what I did within 5 minutes. Then I would wait 30 minutes. I would go up to 1.5. And something was telling me, I think it was like my consciousness or something. Something was telling me to do higher. Something just told me, like, once I got off work one day, basically, something just literally told me, like, hey, today you're going to get high. Today you're going to experience an amazing journey that is going to completely transform you. So I went through with it. So I bridged it up to there. I was doing like 0.6 or like 0.8 grams every like 15 or 30 minutes basically. So I was bridging it. I wasn't feeling anything. Like, I saw a little bit, I could tell it was like, okay, like there's a little bit. The highest I ever did was 2.7, but it's like, you're still aware. Like, you're still aware of your natural surroundings. Like, this, like this spike tool right here for my track and field spikes, this is a spike tool basically on 2.7 grams. 4 grams, maybe it might start looking a little bit patterny and stuff like that, that's usually what's 5.4 grams. And then I also smoked 3 joints, literally, of high THC indica marijuana. Like, literally, I smoked 3 within 30 minutes. Like, that's a lot of psychoactive chemicals. That's a lot of stuff going straight into the brains, the neurons, the axons, literally. So basically, something like this, your perception of reality is so altered when you do the heroic dose, especially when you smoke marijuana on top of it, high doses of marijuana. So this right here is a flower. This could literally look like a flower. It could look like a frog. I kid you not. Like, it's just, since it's green, your perception of reality completely changes and alters, literally. So I wake up, and after going to sleep, after I like bridged it, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm probably gonna not feel anything. I'm probably gonna have, I thought I was gonna have like great dreams, because I was addicted to Valium previously. I was like very dependent. It was addictive. I was also addicted to muscle relaxers after I got hit by a car, which you can see in the description for another video, which will be in this description. But just like, I thought I was just going to go to sleep. I thought it was like Valium, basically, where it's like, it's a downer and stuff. It is a downer, psilocin. It's really a hybrid. It's almost like in between. It's just, honestly, it's a straight psychoactive chemical. That's literally what it is. That's what psilocybin, mescaline, that's another one, DMT, dimethyltryptamine, which is literally an analog so close to, again, serotonin, what we make in our brains. But it's just, so I take this I wake up like 4 hours later and I'm like, where the fuck am I? Like, seriously, I wake up, I'm in bed, and I'm just like looking around, and there's like these patterns and stuff. It's like, I mean, I heard this like wave, like,
oh, it's just like, dude, you get the best barrels ever, dude. Just like you pull in and you just get spit right out of them, and you just drop in and just smack the lip, whoop-ah, drop down, snap, ah, and then after that, you just drop in, just ride the barrel and get pitted, so pitted. Like,
just like literally like everything. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, shit. Like, okay, I'm here. What's going? I'm here. I'm present, teacher. What is happening? How are you doing? That's literally, I'm like, oh my God. I mean, I've never been so high in my life. Like, seriously, like, just, oh my God. Like, I mean, I've done, again, this was like during my depression stages. Like, I did a high dose of Valium. Like, you know, you go to sleep, you have amazing dreams, but again, it's a downer. Like, I had never taken, the only upper I've ever taken, and again, this is when I was like really, I was going through depression, I was going through poverty at the time. The only thing I ever took was meth, crystal meth. That was what I took. Hold on. That was what I took at the time. So basically, yeah, I've definitely experimented with some, you know, you could say illicit substance. You could say, honestly, I don't believe in that. I believe it's freedom of choice, freedom. It's your body, your decision. I don't care. Just don't hurt anybody else. That's it, you know. But just, I wake up. There's like this woman talking to me. There's this voice. There's multiple voices. They said, oh, there's many of us. Like, that's literally what the voice said. Like, there's men, there's women, there's age, gender. Like, it's insane. It's crazy. I wake up, I see these patterns. And I was like, before we start, like, literally, like, before I started, basically, I started, like, going through thought and this thought and that thought. They said, you need to ego shred. You need to face whatever it was that went inside you for when your father passed away. Because there was this, like, I remember the last time, like, there was a miscommunication. Can you believe this? There was a miscommunication on how I took edibles. So 2 years ago, yeah, it was 2 years ago, and there was a miscommunication at my former job. This dude said can of candy. I didn't know what he was talking about. I take 2, thinking like, oh, it's normal candy, this and that. Looked completely normal. Closed wrapper, you know, literally. I mean, I've seen, you know, M&Ms. I've seen like Sour Patch Candy. Literally. I look at the label like after everything in that stuff. I'm like, wow, the label was so small. It says THC on it. It's so small. You can barely see it. That's what you got to be careful with a lot of these candies. Like, a lot of them, they'll look so similar to like real candy, and it's like really small where you can see like, you know, the warning or like THC, you know, edible. But yeah, there was like this Dementor like being that like went into my heart basically when I was high that time. And again, this was under like the incorrect intentions and stuff like that. So I had to go home, I remember. And it's just, but yeah, back to like, you know, the mushroom story. It's just, so I took 5.4 grams. They told me I needed the ego shred. They showed me this like Milky Way galaxy light force. Like, it's like a spiraling light. And there was like this space music, like, oh, like literally just something like that or something. And they told me like, this is where you shed your ego. This is where, and I tried to think of, they showed me bad thoughts. They showed me of when I got sexually assaulted when I was 6.5 by 2 female teachers. They showed me like certain things and stuff. I surrendered. I completely, that's usually when you're supposed to surrender. I completely fucking I was just, I even cry. I was like, literally like, yeah, that happened. Yeah, that was pretty fucked up, you know? Like, I mean, I just admitted to it. I literally just, you know, just show me what I need to know. Just show me what I need to see. And basically, like, they shot this like tiny little black dark matter beam or something through this light. And they said this to me, that is the size of your ego. very small, very, very small. Because I used to think all these awful things about myself. I used to like think like, oh yeah, you know, I'm this, I'm that. You know, most people don't like me and such, which is for another video. Honestly, most of society's fucked up, which is for another video. But just, you know, hopped up, addicted, sad, depressed, you know, working dead-end jobs. But just no life, nothing to strive for. But just when it comes to this, basically, like when I did this, it was crazy. Like it was insane. Like I thought about new thoughts, like good thoughts, basically. Every time I tried to like think about something bad, like when I got assaulted when I was 6, or something traumatic, like, you know, when it comes to like PTSD, basically anything that affected me so greatly, you know, but just so greatly mentally, they just it didn't hurt me. I didn't understand. Like you would think like I would go into a bad trip because I started thinking, because usually that's how people get into bad trips, but no, that just wasn't the case for me. It was quite bizarre. I was just like, why, like, I'm so used to fighting. I'm so used to like struggling and fighting, you know, basically. And it's just, finally, I actually feel like, wow, I can actually control this. I can do this. Like, and they basically said to me like, oh, you're stronger than you realize, you know, like, and it was this female voice talking to me. I didn't know who the hell it was, like, I've talked to other people and they've like, oh yeah, there's certain voices, they're men, they're women, or they can literally be like a gender, basically, like, but it's like, they showed me my whole life. They showed me my whole fucking life. Like even like when driving home from the hospital when I was born. Like I was in a BMW. I was like a baby. My mom was holding me. And literally, like I remember the car sound of the revs, you know, because it was a 5 Series. It's, you know, it's a powerful car. It's a V8, you know, it's a sports sedan basically. And I remember just because I love cars so much and I love the air and adrenaline. You know, I used to race, like kart racing. And it's just, I remember seeing like the sky, like the clouds, and then just like that, like the trees and the brisk passing, you know, passing me by. Passing us by as we were driving under the trees. And they showed me like all these memories. I used to draw these like specific things when I was a kid. I would draw these like certain patterns and stuff like that. And they showed me like some old ancient tribal like language that's like gone and dead now. And they were like, that was your past life. Like, yeah, the reason why you were drawing these things. I would just draw these things in class. I didn't know what they were. I just thought they were like cool patterns and stuff like that. And they like told me like, yeah, this is a dead language. These languages are so old. And sorry, mucus, but just, it is so crazy. Like, the amount of stuff that psilocybin can teach, like, you know, it's so insane. Like, seriously, if you do it under the right intentions though, like for me, like I meditated, I chanted for 30 minutes. Like I did what I needed to do. Most people don't even care. Most people will just go right into it and just not even care. Like literally, like I know this one guy who I used to like befriend basically, like it just shit started getting really weird. And he was just like, yeah, you need to do it right now. Yeah, you need to do it now. Like that. And he would microdose. He took like all sorts of shit. Like he took DMT, he microdose. Like, it's just like, dude, you know, you're opening your consciousness to like very fucking benevolent spirits, like literally, like seriously. And he would act so weird around me, and I'm like, okay, that's the benevolent spirits talking. He seemed possessed. Like it was really weird. Like I mean seriously, it was quite a spectacle. But just when it comes to like the languages, like the patterns and stuff like that, yeah, those are old dead languages. They showed me, like, when I was back in Israel, they basically just went through my whole timeline, my whole spiritual timeline. They went through, basically. That was basically what they did. My whole spiritual timeline, all the way back to the 2nd century, you know, after death, to right now, literally. I mean, that was how far they went back to just this and this. I used to be paralyzed. I used to be paralyzed. I used to be blind. I used to be deaf. I used to not be able to talk. I used to be like, literally, I mean, this athletic body, I used to like think like, oh yeah, you know, nothing can happen to me, you know, and stuff. But it's like, you just, when you do like psilocybin, when you do these like psychoactive psychotropic medicines and shit that like shamans have been like using for thousands of fucking years, like, I mean, the amount of ego shred, like, it was just easy. It was just easy for me. Like, I mean, the reason why it was easy is because I like to try new things. I'm open, I'm diverse. Like, literally, I'll talk to anybody. Like, literally, like my mom, I literally came home one day, like I'm so fucking diverse and open to opinion, like, and different things. I came home from work one time. I'm like, Mom, guess what? Guess who I met? And I was like, wait, who? Who do you mean? I was like, I met this man from Eritrea. She was like, Eritrea, what? Wait, what are you talking about? It's like Eritrea. It's a far east Africa. It's on the farthest east of Africa, bordering Ethiopia and also Jordan. Like, literally, that's what I said to her. She's like literally, because it's like, I knew what Eritrea was. I know about the history of like the 1950s when the Italians were like, you know, doing their war, colonizing Eritrea, East Africa, basically. And recently there was a war with I think it was the Tigray tribe or militant group. I forgot what it was, but it's just, no, I'm definitely a worldly person. Like, I mean, seriously, if you were to give me like a world map and tell me where Botswana is, I would know where Botswana is. If you told me where Lestejo is, which is like inside South Africa, I would know where Lestejo is, literally. I wouldn't know where these places are. Same with Guinea, Benin, like, literally, just places you would never even, like, think or anything. Like, you'd think, like, as an American, I suck at geography. Like, you know, you've probably seen the videos and stuff. But it's just, you know, which I'm going to be making react videos to soon. But it's just, no, it was very easy for me to shred that kind of stuff because I'm an open person, basically. I'm a godly person. I believe in these things and higher powers, but just, that was why it was easy for me. And again, they just showed me my whole life. They showed me when I was a child, going through school, and I tried to think about traumatic experiences that happened to me in school. Again, didn't affect me, didn't give me a bad trip. They would even let me. Like, why are you focusing on this? Why are you focusing on the past? Like, literally, like, they were saying this to me. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, I'm sitting here with still fucking 3 grams in my system. I'm like lying down. It's like morning. The sun's up. I've been tripping for like 7 hours basically. And it's like morning. I still have 3 grams in me. I'm like, holy fuck. Like, this is an amazing teacher. This is seriously an amazing fuck. So this is what it's about. This is what psilocybin is about. And one more reference about my trip. My trip showed me sex, you know, it showed me, like, you know, as a man, as a woman, like, basically gay, straight, lesbian, bi, basically, don't matter, you know, I don't care, you know, but just, they showed me that, they showed me like when I was a woman, and it's just, fuck it, I don't care, like, this is where it's at. I started touching my chest like if I was a woman. I was so, your consciousness, your perception of reality is completely just gone, literally, just straight to the point. Like, they showed me when I was a woman, they showed me where, I mean, I was like, you know, like caressing and stuff like that, like during sex, like, you know, that they were showing me like of like certain past lives, previous lives. Also just like in the future, like they showed me of like certain women that I'm going to be with, basically, because, you know, under my faith of, you know, being a Shiva follower, basically, it's just, that's the thing. Sometimes you're put here on earth because you're just there to mingle. Like, I'm not saying it as like, you know, like there's, you know, like hookup culture and such, basically, but you have like these short relationships or short fling. You're put there for a specific reason because you used to be with that person in a previous time, or, you know, I mean, there's weird way. There's definitely, it's for another video, but just there's ways of putting it that I can't explain. It would be way too long, but just Like, and plus I want to stay on topic with, you know, psilocybin. It's just, but so they showed me that, and I mean, it's incredible. It really, really is. Like, they showed me, like, just happy things and everything. I mean, it's just my father. I talked to my father again, basically. You know, I do talk to him. He comes to me in my dreams, like, once every 2 days and such. Sometimes we don't even talk because I'm, like, very comfortable now and stuff, you know, with his physical absence here on Earth, you know, in this particular dimension, basically. So there's that. But no, my PTSD is fucking gone. Like, literally, like, before I took shrooms, there were certain times, like, there was music, there were certain things, I would literally start fucking crying. Because it was like Nick. It would just remind me of, like, my father or something like that. And there was, like, specific periods of the day for 3 weeks before I took shrooms, I was really fucking depressed. I was extremely fucking depressed. I wanted to take my own life. I wanted to go out into the sunflower field and just overdose on a bunch of Valium and just never fucking wake up and just, you know, have a happy good night, basically. I was so fucking depressed of just, you know, my father, and then, like, you know, just everything that's happened. It's like, you know, feeling like, you know, I never get a break and such, basically. And literally, like, after I come home from work, you know, just literally, like, depressed and stuff like that, there's, like, this certain consciousness that literally told me, I think you should take 5 grams, like 3 grams. That was what it started out. And they're like, you need to take more. I took 5.4, and then, like, the 3 joints, basically, like, ease into it. But it's like, no, it was bad. Like, it was really, really bad. Like, my depression was really bad. Like, I mean, my anxiety was, like, really, like, my anxiety's still there, like, you know, somewhat, but, like, the PTSD is just fucking gone. Like, seriously. Like, I mean, there's times where it's like I get, like, a little bit depressed, you know, just a little, you know, you sometimes, but that's fine. I mean, there's, like, days, there's sometimes, like, but for me, for those 3 weeks, I wanted to kill myself. I'm going to just admit that right here. I did. I hated the way things were going. I hated, like, this. I hated that. And finally, after doing, like, psilocybin, it's just, like, there's certain pathways in the brain, like SSRIs, you know, like prescription, like serotonin reuptake inhibitors, they increase serotonin, yes. But they don't increase serotonin, like, at specific receptors. They don't. Like, psilocin goes right to the fucking source. It goes right to, I don't want to talk about this, you know, this is medicine. This is, like, you know, this would be like a whole lecture, college lecture about, you know, since I love medicine, I want to study endocrinology, you know, when I'm 24 next year. If you want to see more of part 2, I will have it down in the description right here. I was not able to upload, you know, basically uploading software I don't have for, like, videos that are, like, you know, 30 minutes plus, basically. Please watch part 2. Part 2 is exactly the same video as the last one as a recap.